Today we're going to talk about iPad. Now, I've had a couple of videos that I've done about the iPad specifically related to LumaFusion and Adobe Rush CC. Today, we're just going to talk straight about the iPad, specifically the new iPad. But before we get into it, I want to just say two things. Number one, thanks so much for getting me up over 1,000 views. I actually made a cool pizza party video, so go ahead and check that out. It'll be somewhere up here. And number two, if you like videos like this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you don't like videos like this, put a comment in this video so I know why you didn't like it. And if you do like videos like this and you're already subscribed to my channel, then I don't know, go check out some of my other videos. But let's talk about iPad. Okay, I'm gonna try and keep this video under like 10 minutes. Some of my videos have gone super long, so I'm gonna try and keep this short. So let's do it Peter McKinnon style. Let's go ahead and throw 8 minutes on the clock and we'll see if we can keep to it. I love the iPad. Love the iPad, use it all the time. Love Apple products. I've had iPhones for 9 of the 11 iPhones that they've had, but love my iMac, love my MacBook, love my MacBook Pro. I am not an Apple hater at all, but I want to talk for real about the new iPad Pro. Okay, so let's hop into it. Before we can actually talk about the new iPad, we should compare it to the old iPad. So we'll throw some stats up on the screen. So number one, the current iPad, the brand new one, is rocking the A12X Bionic. It's got high performance cores, it's got low performance cores, it's got the neural engine built in. The iPad Pro from 2017 is running an A10X Fusion chip, which does not have a neural engine. Both have LCD Retina displays, although the one on the new iPad is rounded at the corner, so you do get that larger view of the display. 7 megapixel camera on the front. Although with the 2017 version, you do not get the Face ID technology. You're still having to use Touch ID, whereas the new one, it has the Face ID technology from the iPhone 10. Both iPads have about the same battery life, although the new iPad has a smaller battery, though probably taking advantage of that 7 nanometer process on the A12 Bionic, so it can get away with less battery, but they get the same amount of time. And the new one has much better speakers. Okay, so those are the major specs. Also improved Apple Pencil with the magnet on the side and the inductive charging, super cool. New iPad can charge a remote device or a slave device using its new port. But that's the primary thing that I want to talk about today. So basically, if we boil things down on the new iPad, we're talking about a bigger screen, though the same resolution, generally the same pixels per inch, same Retina display technology. Even though they're calling it Liquid Retina display, the Liquid Retina display part just means rounded corners. And we also put aside the new design, although I do really like that. I was a huge fan of the iPhone 4, 4S, 5, and 5S designs. But if we put all of that aside, we're really talking about an iPad with a much faster processor and a new USB-C port. Now, there's no way to crack this thing open and throw a new CPU in it, so we are left with the performance that we have in the 2017 iPad with the A10X Fusion chip. But I want to drill into that USB-C port and what it does. The two specific things, the two specific features that Apple is really pushing for this new USB-C port, and I love USB-C. I actually kind of hope that they move everything to USB-C. Who knows if they'll ever do it, but right now the new iPad is running USB-C, and this iPad is running with Lightning. So if you've got a 2017 iPad Pro or even an older iPad, I want to show you just really quick how you can get two of the main features out of the iPad that you have right now that were advertised as new features on the iPad Pro. Also, just a quick caveat, I do know that the slave charging is not something that the Lightning port will do, so we're gonna skip that. I know that's a feature, but I wanna talk about these other two features mostly. So the two features that Apple seems to be pushing the most for this USB-C upgrade are, number one, the external display feature, and number two, the ability to connect USB-based devices. So I'm gonna really quickly show you how you can actually do that with an older iPad, and I'm gonna use my iPad to demonstrate. So the first accessory that I wanna talk about, the first feature that I wanna talk about for the 2018 iPad is the ability to connect an external display. So this is the Apple AV connector. This has a Lightning connector here, and then it has an HDMI port here, and then you can also do pass-through charging with a lightning port here. And I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in, and I'm going to plug it in like that. And so now what you'll see is the screen that I have on my iPad is now mirrored on my external display. The new iPad will actually push up to I think it's up to 5K to this display, and then it has to do with the display chip that they have in that unit. But as far as being able to project it to an external display, you really have the exact same capability. And app capability is going to be the same. For example, right now I'm just mirroring the display, but certain applications, things like PowerPoint, actually have the ability to see that you're connected to an external display. And I can open up a video project that I was using before, and boom, I've got everything, and it actually looks really good. Okay, so for those of you saying, well, Joe, I don't really care about external displays. I only work with my iPad, so that doesn't bother me. But you just picked up a new camera that doesn't use SD card, and you want to be able to export stuff off of there onto your iPad. Now we're going to talk about the next accessory, which is the USB-C capability, the ability to connect external devices. We actually have that with an accessory and the lightning port already. So the lightning port standard actually already has USB built into it. And on the iPad Pro, it's actually USB 3, so it's super fast. You can actually utilize this external USB dongle to attach USB devices, attaching an external camera, but I actually want to give you an even cooler one, which is an external microphone. So this is a blue snowball microphone. It requires USB. It needs to be powered. So I'm gonna attach this USB cable to this here. And I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in right here. And I'm gonna open up the Voice Memos app just to kind of show you that I can record a voice memo using the blue microphone. Test 1, 2, 3, test 1, 2, 3. Recording on the blue snowball over USB onto the iPad Pro. And let's play it back and see how it sounds. Recording on the blue snowball over USB onto the iPad Pro. See? And it actually sounds really good. Now, I know a lot of people were hoping for file management in iOS 12 with the new iPad. We didn't get that. Maybe that'll come in iOS 13. But there are apps out there that will allow you to access external drives, and they do work with this USB adapter. So really, if you've already got an older iPad, maybe you bought an iPad Pro in the last year or two, you're still doing fine. There's no need to upgrade to the new iPad unless you absolutely need the most speed possible. So to the question of whether or not the iPad is a replacement for a laptop, this is a controversial question. I personally believe that depending on the work that you're doing, there is a real possibility that the iPad is a replacement for you. Specifically, if you do a lot of drawing or an artist of some kind, if you're primarily a typer, maybe you're writing blogs, writing a book, writing magazine articles or online articles of some kind, this is really a great direction to go. There's a lot of stuff that still needs to be improved with the iPad, but they're very close. It does kind of bug me that the new iPad, the 2018 iPad, is being pushed from a marketing perspective as a replacement for a laptop, more so than I feel previous generations. And I think the USB-C port is really kind of at the center of that conversation. So of course the new iPad is faster than the old one, and it is very fast. Of course it has the new design and this new implementation. It's got the amazing speakers. It's got the new Apple Pencil with inductive charging, all very exciting, iterative improvements over previous technology. The USB-C port is a welcome change, but I don't think that it causes the iPad to go from being a tablet to a computer or from being an iPad to something else. It's still just an iPad. But I don't think that the USB-C port really changes the game. It lets you hook up external displays and it lets you hook up USB devices. While it does better at both, specifically the display side with the ability to push 4K, it it doesn't change the game. It doesn't do something totally different. Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. If you like videos like this, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're interested in other videos that I'm doing, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you're already subscribed to my channel, make sure you got the bell on so you can get notifications for other videos that I do, and check out some of my other videos. I've got a ton on the iPad using LumaFusion and some other cool stuff that I've been working on. Let's talk in the comments. I try and respond to every single comment that I get, and I will see you in the next one.